again, goal-getters. Welcome to Goal Getting Podcast and the Goal Getting Quote of the Day. I'm your host, Tony Woodall, and I am so thrilled to have you listening to the show today. If you've been following the Quote of the Day every day, thank you so much. I really appreciate you listening. And if this is your first time, thank you so much as well, because, I just want you to know that you all are really appreciated here. First-timers and continuing listeners. If you want to double, triple, or increase your income more, like I did, and get out of dead-end jobs that are taking you nowhere, just like I did, then listen to my weekly goal-getting podcast on Wednesdays, where I and my guests will teach you how to get the goals you set. One of the ways is to stay motivated and get inspired, and I do that by listening to those that have done what I want to do. I also love quotes, and I wanted to share some motivating and inspirational quotes from people that have motivated and inspired me. And today's quote of the day is following up on our opportunity theme that we've been doing. And these are quotes that Richard Branson shared with his on social media with his 10 favorite quotes on opportunity. And I'm sharing them with you. So Judith McNaught is not someone that I knew before I saw this quote that Richard Branson shared. Judith McNaught is a New York Times best-selling author. And as an author with an ebook on Amazon.com, I know that this is a great accomplishment, being on the New York Times bestseller list. I think that it's important to know when you listen to Judith's quote, because she's an opportunity seeker and a person of action, and you have to be to get on the New York Times bestseller list. And she's done it more than once. She's sold over 30 million copies of her books. So Judith knows what she's talking about. So, Judith tells us, you can't outwit fate by standing on the sidelines placing little side bets about the outcome of life. If you don't play, you can't win. Now, do you know any of those people that just sit or stand around watching while others are doing things? They stand on the sidelines of your life and start placing wagers. They're the ones that go, oh, he'll never do that. He's too old. I bet he fails. Or what does she know about that? I bet she falls on her face. Now, the important thing is, do you do that to yourself? If you do, that just ain't right, folks. So do you get ready to call someone to set up an appointment to show them your product and then say to yourself, well, I bet they won't be interested. I shouldn't even bother calling. Or, I bet I will mess up this deal. First, don't listen to those people that say that. And more importantly, don't listen to you. Don't let your own mind place those side bets against you. And I had a previous podcast where I talked about one of my quotes, don't let your mind play goalie for the other team. And we don't want our own mind messing us up. So, don't listen to yourself when you start that type of talk. Zig Ziglar used to call it stinking thinking. Just stop it and don't even listen. So I loved to watch the TV show In It to Win It with Guy Fieri. The catchphrase of that show was, you got to be in it to win it. And I talk, people say, well, I don't bother with the lottery. I'll never win. Well, one sure way you're not going to win is if you don't play, you're not going to win. If you're not in it, you can't win it. And, I'm not advocating playing the lottery, but, honestly, if you don't play at least one ticket, then you certainly can't win. So, those that say, well, I'm never going to win, so I don't bother entering. It's kind of like, the same type of analogy. If you don't get out there and do it, if you don't play, you can't win. But again, I'm not advocating the lottery. That is not a goal that you should set because you have no control over it. But, in life, you do have control and you can win, but you have to play. You can't just sit on the sidelines and make side bets, as Judith says. So I want you to win. You have to play first, though. So get out there on the field, do the things that it takes to win, and you will win. And I hope this quote will inspire you to keep playing and working on your goals. So don't stand on the sidelines. Play and play to win. And this is Tony Woodall, your host for Goal Getting Podcasts. Subscribe to and listen to our weekly show that posts every Wednesday in our quote of the day. I would love to hear from you, though, and find out what you think of the podcast and the quote of the day. Who's been your favorite guest so far? You can leave them a comment on their show notes page. And I mentioned my ebook on Amazon.com. And if you want to get 9 steps to successful goal achievement, you can get to the link on the show notes page and the link for the Amazon.com for this episode at goalgettingpodcast.com/QOD-13. So that's goalgettingpodcast.com/QOD in lowercase 13. So thanks again for listening to the show. I get a lot of my quotes from great books, and like you, I'm strapped for time, so I listen to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks. I work to deal with audible.com for goal-getting podcast listeners, and if you like to listen to audiobooks like I do, go to goalgettingbook.com and get your first audiobook for free, and Audio will give you a 30-day trial at no cost just for trying out their service. So go get your free audiobook at goalgettingbook.com. Go out today, be in it to win it, and if you don't play, you can't win. Remember that? Leave the sidelines for your cheerleaders and your photographers, but be in the game. So go out and make today a great day.